Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I'd really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing one of my favorite new Breitling watches of the Georges Kern era. This is the glorious Breitling Premier B01 Chronograph 42 Bentley. It's a big watch with a big name, though not quite as big as previous Breitling timepieces. As you can see, my 16 centimeter circumference wrist has no trouble wearing this 42 millimeter stainless steel watch. Breitling for Bentley continues, but now the Breitling models, rather than being their own model line, will be special variants of existing model lines, hence this variation on the new for 2018 Premier. So stainless steel, 42 millimeters, the watch is reasonably slim at 13.8, and you can see from lug to lug, Georges Kern promised, as the new CEO of Breitling, he would pare down the size of the lugs and the shape of the lugs for smaller wrists. Well, mission accomplished. 49.7 millimeters across the wrist, but you can also see the shape of the lugs nicely curved. So if you're borderline to wear this one, it's not going to flare out in ungainly fashion beyond your wrist. So I would say borderline, lowest size you'd want to wear this watch, 14.5 centimeters circumference wrist. Now, the spacing between the lugs, modern, 22 millimeters. The watch has a vintage look, but a very planted appearance. The broad lug spacing being modern, the Premier style, the twin register aesthetic being a bit more vintage and 50s influenced. You can see the strap, British Racing Green naturally. This is technically the Bentley British Racing Green model. You can see that there's a curvature to the spring bar, so you have unobstructed and unimpeded movement to the strap. Despite being drilled close to the case, it doesn't get inhibited in its motion or constrained against the case, so you can pull it straight down if you've got that small wrist like me. The strap is very thick. Breitling straps have never disappointed. This is something they've always done well. It's a thickly stuffed and bolstered calfskin. You can see there is a little bit of a contrast or ecru style simulated patina in the stitching, and then there's sheer construction that shows you the layers of the leather. And as you can see on the underside, this is a new Breitling factory strap. You'll have the chance to gouge it on your wrist. I will not do the honors. The buckle is handsome, and as you can see, it's a combination of a polished bevel and a satin top. I like the fact that this is not a pin buckle. You're getting a deployant, and not just a steel deployant, but a twin trigger deployant, so you have to disengage it and positively disengage it to open it up. It's not friction fit, it's not cheap. No money was saved there. They invested in this piece. You can see the case band has been modified with a screw-fixed and engine-turned Bentley nameplate, a lovely flourish that references the use of engine turning on modern bespoke Bentleys and historic Bentleys of the W.O. Bentley and Bentley Boys racing era, so that's a wonderful nod to past and present. The lugs of the Premier, interesting. As you can see, polished on their hoods, they're satin finished on their flanks. The case band itself is all of satin finish, but look at the bevel. It actually flares and then wraps around the end of the lug. That's a lovely look, thoughtfully considered, and much appreciated. The crown is highly distinctive of the Premier line. It's oddly shaped, though a delight to handle, as the knurling is deep and sharp. Eyes closed, I know this is a Premier crown. It's that distinctive. Vintage-inspired rectangular pushers with nicely beveled flanks and satin-finished tops, even as their shoulders are polished. There's a box section sapphire designed to evoke a vintage plexi, and a small sliver polished silver domed bezel around the dial, and I can't really do justice to the dial. It's a beautiful sunburst green. I've got it a little bit right there, and it is quite reactive in person, less so on camera. Take my word, it's the highlight of the watch. All of the indices are hollowed out and appliqué, so no money saved on printing the dial. You can see there's a tachymeter outboard that's also a slightly upstepped flange to give another plane of focus to the dial. The sub-registers feature a snailing pattern, and they're slightly sunken below the plane of the dial. It's nicely balanced with a date in monotone green at 6 o'clock. You can split the dial with bilateral symmetry. Applique Breitling B logo. It features a counterweighted needle style seconds hand, and you can see there's a stop seconds function. There is also a quick set function for rapidly cycling the date. You have a vertical clutch column wheel chronograph. Let's hear the column wheel action. It's very sharp and very crisp. It's on par with the standard for the industry, which is the El Primero caliber 400 or the Rolex caliber 4130 in the Daytona. Feel is excellent. You can also see it's a vertical clutch, so there's no jump or stagger to the seconds hand as you start the watch up, and if you want to leave your chronograph running, because of the vertical clutch, there's no additional wear and tear. You can just have center hours, minutes, and seconds with no concerns about imposing on your movement. Let's open everything up here and get a better look at the case back. Okay, the movement, Breitling caliber B01, 41 joules, automatic winding. You can see the Bentley logo goes to the top. It's a vertical clutch column wheel chronograph, automatic winding with a COSC certification, the 70-hour power reserve, the quick set date, and the stop seconds. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. You can see some of the finer points, including the column wheel and the polished chronograph levers. It's a good-looking movement, and protected in this case down to 100 meters, robustly water resistant, so throw it on a water resistant strap or the optional bracelet. You can easily take this one swimming. You can see what might be the most appealing new Breitling of the Georges current era. This is the Breitling Premier Chronograph 42 Bentley. See it and make it yours on the watch box. Breitling Premier Bentley, as you can see, not much green by night, not quite as much as you have by day, just the hands are loomed.